Hello and welcome to UAMS. In this video, we're going to discuss your retirement savings. There are several reasons why saving for your retirement is so very important. Because you may not want to or be able to work your whole life. A survey found that 37% of current retirees retired earlier than planned due to an unexpected event, such as health problems or changes in their company. The earlier you start preparing for unexpected events, the better. Because you want to have enough money saved for a comfortable retirement. Many people assume that expenses will go down in retirement, but often that is not the case. Inflation means you will need more, not less. Higher property taxes could cause your housing costs to be more. You might spend less on clothing, except you'll have more time to go shopping. Many other expenses could arise. Increased medical costs and health insurance premium costs, financial help for children or grandchildren, or even elderly parents, and more free time could result in more money being spent on traveling and entertainment. Because you don't know how long you'll live. People today are living longer. Retiring at age 65 today, a man would have more than 50% chance of still being alive at age 81, a woman at age 85. A 25% chance of living to nearly 90, a 10% chance of getting close to 100. How big a chance do you want to take of living longer than your savings lasts? Because Social Security won't be enough. Do you know anyone whose sole source of income is Social Security? If so, is that person living comfortably on just Social Security? Odds are they are not. Some people use their retirement savings as a way to leave money to their family or to charities that are important to them. You don't want to have any regrets 10 years down the line. Saving $20 a week now may seem impossible, but the reality is that you cannot afford not to save. It will always seem challenging to put money aside for your future, but if you don't take advantage of saving even a little today, you may have to face the challenge of saving a lot later to make up for the lost time and money. It's mandatory. State law requires that UAMS contribute to a plan on your behalf if you're in a regular staff or faculty position. Sorry, but you're not eligible for UAMS contributions if you are temporary or extra help, a resident, and that includes medical, pharmacy, or chaplain or house staff, a student, or if you're part-time, equaling less than 50%. However, ineligible employees can still make unmatched tax-deferred annuity contributions. What is the University of Arkansas Retirement Plan, also known as the UARP? It's a defined contribution plan, which means benefits are defined by the actual contributions made to your individual account by you and your employer plus earnings and interest. It's a combination 403B plan and a 457B plan. We have two fund sponsors to choose from, TIAA and Fidelity Investments. Please be aware that TIAA has recently rebranded from TIAA-CREF to TIAA. Many options for benefit payout, including annuities, lump sum, and periodic payments, are available. Furthermore, enrollment is easy. If your employer offers a 403B or 401k plan, then consider yourself lucky. Not everyone is offered a retirement plan at work. Since your employer provides all the enrollment materials to get you started on your savings plan, then all you have to do is pick up a pen, fill out the enrollment form, and you're on your way to saving. Do it! How much does UAMS contribute to the UARP? Minimally, an amount equal to 5% of your monthly wages. But if you make personal contributions over 5%, UAMS will match up to 10% within IRS limits. So for example, if you do 1 to 5%, UAMS will do 5%. If you do 6%, UAMS will do 6%. If you do 10%, UAMS will do 10%. If you do 20%, UAMS will do 10%. How much can I contribute? The university is transitioning into a required employee contribution of 5%. The change is gradual, spread out over 5 years from July 2016 to July 2020. Effective July 2017, the required contribution is 2%. This amount will increase by an additional 1% each July until the required contribution is 5% in July of 2020. If you make additional voluntary contributions, we'll reduce that by 1% next July so that your total percent contribution remains the same. Voluntary, it's your choice to contribute any percent of your salary you wish in addition to the required contribution. Try to do a total of 10%, combined required and voluntary. Right away, you double your retirement savings because of the match. 20% is going into your retirement plan, and this is great. Your contributions. The university match is based on all of your contributions, whether they are required or elective. You can contribute on a before tax, also called tax deferred, or after tax basis. More on that later. The IRS limits how much you and UAMS can contribute for the tax year, but that usually only affects highly compensated individuals. So what are the IRS limits? Your tax deferred limits are actually double because the UA plan is a combo 403B plan and 457B plan. Your 2017 limits are shown here. So what are the order of deductions from my paycheck? If you're going to contribute more than $18,000 this year, the bucket illustration can be found on the Human Resources website. The bucket illustration shows the IRS limits for retirement contributions and how your contributions flow from one bucket to the next. It also shows the order of your retirement contributions. First, the 403B plan as pre-tax and/or Roth, then to the 457B plan as pre-tax. Then stop, unless you check the box to go back to the 403B plan and make after-tax contribution. Here's a tip for highly compensated employees. If you anticipate your UAMS pay will be greater than $270,000 in calendar year 2017, be aware that the UAMS employer contribution will only apply to your first $270,000. In order to gain the maximum UAMS contribution, you will need to contribute at least 10% each pay period. Please refer to the examples shown here. If your retirement contributions are made before tax, those are deducted before you pay taxes. This reduces your federal and state taxable income that's reported on your W-2. This does not reduce your FICA tax base. To illustrate, if you're in a 28% income tax bracket and you contribute $18,000 before tax, your actual cost would be $12,960, netting you tax savings of $5,040. You would be taxed on your contributions and earnings at the time you retire, or otherwise begin withdrawal. We also offer a 403B Roth. You can choose to contribute on a standard before tax basis or on an after tax basis to a Roth or a combination of both. Roth contributions are made from your paycheck after taxes are deducted. In other words, you pay taxes now on your contributions, but after 5 years and age 59 and a half, earnings on your Roth would be tax-free. A 403B Roth is particularly attractive to those who are ineligible to do a Roth IRA on their own due to high income restrictions. What you contribute to an employer Roth plan offsets how much you can contribute before tax. More information about 403B Roth is available on our website. Let us know if you've made contributions this year to a previous employer's plan before coming to UAMS, or will make contributions this year to another employer's plan, such as the VA Thrift Savings Plan. Some IRS limits apply to your combined contributions. We can assist you in avoiding an excess deferral, but the responsibility is yours to monitor this. When can I begin? Now. You can change your UA plan contribution at any time, generally to take effect the following pay period. Start contributing as early in your career as you can to benefit from the power of compounding returns. You don't want to have any regrets 10 years down the line. Saving $20 a week now may seem impossible, but the reality is that you cannot afford not to save. It will always seem challenging to put money aside for your future, But if you don't take advantage of saving even a little today, you may have to face the challenge of saving a lot later to make up for lost time and money. But don't put in more than you can afford. Also, if you have already received a paycheck, the required contribution and the minimum employer contribution will be applied retroactively. This is a retirement plan, not a general savings plan. If there's an emergency, you generally can't access your money unless you're retired. There may be limited circumstances that allow you to get a loan on your personal contributions. IRS penalties could apply to early distributions. As mentioned previously, financial experts recommend that you save 15% your entire working career to fund your retirement. But it really costs you much less through our plan because of the match. To put in $15 out of every $100 you make may only cost you $7.50 because of the UAMS $7.50 match. And your real net cost is lower if your contribution is deducted on a before tax basis. I would like to now provide you with a couple of contribution examples. Let's get started with John. John starts working at UAMS at age 32 with an annual salary of $15,000. He doesn't put in any of his own money. He retires at age 62 at a salary of $35,348. The money that the university has contributed has been invested in a money market account. He could have a total of $53,880 in his account. He could start a lifetime single life annuity of $3,353 a year. His Social Security could provide approximately $16,462 annually. These two sources of income could provide approximately 56% of his pre-retirement income. John will be on a very tight budget and will probably have to take on a part-time job to make ends meet. He wishes that he would have paid more attention to his retirement plan, made personal contributions, and that he had met with his retirement counselor to make sure he was on track for retirement. Lesson learned? This is really not a retirement plan if you don't personally contribute. Now let's take a look at Judy. Judy starts working at UAMS at age 32 with an annual salary of $15,000. She contributes 10% throughout her 30-year career. She retires at age 62 at a salary of $35,348. Her money has been invested in a diversified portfolio and has an average rate of return of 6%. She has a total of $342,305 in her account. Please note, of this, she has contributed a total of $71,363. She could start a lifetime single life annuity of $21,303 a year. Her Social Security could provide approximately $16,462 annually. These two sources of income could provide approximately 107% of her pre-retirement income. Judy will have a very good retirement income, and she will be able to travel and do the things that she has worked so hard to be able to do. Lesson learned? Contribute 10% to get the full match and do it from day one to enjoy compounded interest. Vesting equals ownership. When you're vested, the money is yours and will follow you if you leave the university. Your personal contributions are always vested. But when do you vest or own your UAMS contributions? You are vested after 2 years. Once vested through the U of A, you are always vested. For example, if you were vested at UALR and transferred to UAMS, you remain vested. Please let us know if you previously worked at another UA campus. When are you eligible to receive benefits or draw out the money in your account? Money that both you and UAMS have contributed. UAMS contributions. Only if you are vested. Once vested, any time after you no longer work for any U of A campus. If you leave UAMS before you are vested, UAMS contributions are forfeited. Your contributions. At age 59 and a half if you are still working, or anytime after you leave the university. After deciding how much you want to contribute, your next choice is which investment provider, Fidelity and/or TIAA. Once your account is set up, this is where your contributions and UAMS's contributions will go each month. The contact information for both TIAA and Fidelity are shown here. TIAA is formerly known as TIAA-CREF, otherwise known as Teachers Insurance and Annuity Association, College Retirement Equities Fund. Their website and their toll-free number are shown here. They have been a UARP investment provider since 1923. Fidelity, also known as Fidelity Investments. Their website address and toll-free number are shown here. They have been a UARP investment provider since 1994. You must pick either TIAA and/or Fidelity. You can change your mind later and switch. It's okay to choose both, but be aware, you may double the mail and/or email you'll receive from your vendors. You will have to add the two balances together to get a picture of your total retirement savings. For your information, 66% of employees are invested only in TIAA, 27% only in Fidelity, 7% are invested in both. After choosing your investment provider, Fidelity and/or TIAA, where do you want to invest the money? What funds? Funds are organized into 4 tiers. Tier 1 refers to your target date funds. Tier 2 refers to your passive funds. Tier 3 refers to your actively managed investments, and Tier 4 refers to your Fidelity Brokerage Link and TIAA brokerage. You are not limited to choosing a tier. You have flexibility to invest in any fund or group of funds you choose. They are organized into these 4 groups to help you understand the different types of funds that are available. Funds in the core UARP lineup, that is tiers 1 through 3, despite the name of the fund, are available through TIAA and/or Fidelity. Next, we'll explore each of these funds. Tier 1 is also known as the target date funds. This is a Vanguard Target Retirement Date Fund. It is the default for those who prefer to not actively manage their retirement investments. The fund number, for example 2030, will correspond with your planned retirement year. It defaults to the year you reach age 65, but you can select any year. This is the exception to the don't put all your eggs into one basket rule. Each fund is already diversified. Your investment allocation will automatically be adjusted as your fund retirement date draws nearer. The younger you are, the more aggressive your investment portfolio. The older and closer to retirement you are, investments become more conservative. This is a popular choice for many employees. Tier 2 refers to the passive funds. Passive funds are also called index funds because they seek to match a benchmark's performance rather than beat it. Because the objective is to simply mirror the holding and returns of a particular index, less research is needed. Transactions occur less frequently, and expenses tend to be lower than those of actively managed funds. Passive funds in the core lineup include the Vanguard Extended Market Index Fund Institutional Shares, the Vanguard Institutional Index Fund Institutional Share, the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index Fund Institutional Share T, and the Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund Institutional Shares. Tier 3 refers to the actively managed investment funds. Actively managed investments try to outperform or beat comparable market benchmarks, rather than just track them. Active managers attempt to construct a portfolio that will outperform a market index and rely on analytical research, forecast, and their own judgment and experience in making investment decisions on what securities to buy, hold, or sell. Fees are often higher because of the higher involvement by the fund manager. There are 6 funds available only to TIAA participants, 6 funds only available to Fidelity participants, and 6 additional funds that are available to both TIAA and Fidelity participants. Tier 4 funds refers to the Fidelity Brokerage Link and TIAA brokerage. This is the self-directed brokerage option, where you have access to a universe of mutual funds beyond those in the UARP core lineup of funds. You have the ability to independently research and select from thousands of mutual funds from hundreds of companies. The University of Arkansas neither evaluates nor monitors the investments offered through this service. Be sure to research the fees associated with these funds. It is your responsibility to ensure that the investments you select are suitable for your situation, including your goals, time horizon, and risk tolerance. You may update your investment allocations at any time by calling your fund sponsor, either TIAA and/or Fidelity, or online by logging into your account via their websites. You can transfer between TIAA and Fidelity at any time. However, restrictions may apply if you are invested in long-term guaranteed accounts, such as TIAA traditional accounts and/or Fidelity MetLife. Educate yourself. You are in control of how your retirement savings are invested. Performance sheets. Consider past and present performance. Meet with a TIAA or Fidelity representative when they are on campus. Schedules are posted on our website. Search on retirement counseling. Your choice whether or not to use the services of an outside personal financial counselor, but ask up front about their fees. There are no fees to meet with the TIAA or Fidelity representatives that are on campus. Both vendors are on campus about 5 days per month. There are instructions on how to set up an appointment with your retirement vendor. This is posted on the HR website. Do a search for retirement counseling. If you don't indicate your investment allocation today, it will default to a life cycle fund at TIAA or in a freedom fund at Fidelity. But take time later to review your choices. Your decision will impact your retirement benefits later. You must complete the voluntary salary deferral agreement form. Retirement resources. Register as a participant on your fund sponsor's website to view your account, get forms, access retirement planning calculators. Lots of information. Attend group educational meetings conducted on campus by TIAA and Fidelity. Schedule an individual counseling session with a Fidelity or TIAA representative. You'll definitely need to do this before you retire, but you could also meet midway through your career to make sure you're on track. There's only one form to turn in today, and that's your voluntary salary deferral agreement form, and you will complete this form in your task located in ISIMS. Remember, enrollment in the retirement plan is a condition of your UAMS employment. This form is required. If you've already received a paycheck, a make-up required contribution will be deducted on your next paycheck. This is an example of the voluntary salary deferral agreement form. Every benefits eligible employee must complete this form. The next two slides provide you with information and instructions on how to complete the form. Here's instructions on how to complete this form. Please feel free to pause the slide in effort to review the information provided here. Please continue to review information shown here in effort to complete your form. Once again, if you have any further questions, please contact the Office of Human Resources for assistance. If you're interested in TIAA, information is available via the Employee Onboarding Portal. You may fill out your TIAA enrollment application online. Instructions are available via the Employee Onboarding Portal. Important: if you previously had a TIAA CREF account with any employer, you need to use the online instructions to select University of Arkansas plan first. Then, log in using your current username and password. If you log in first, you will not be able to select to enroll in our plan. If you're interested in Fidelity, information and instructions are available via the Employee Onboarding Portal. If you have ever had a Fidelity retirement account with another employer and your personal information has changed, name and/or address, you will need to call Fidelity at 1-800-343-0860 to update your personal information prior to enrolling online. If you had an account with UAMS or any other UA campus before, you will not be able to set up a new account. You must use the same username and password as before and make any updates to your account such as personal information, beneficiary information, and any location changes. If you do not have your old username and password, please contact customer service at Fidelity at 1-800-343-0860. If you have retirement questions later, please contact Human Resources at the number shown here. You can also feel free to drop by our offices. We're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. through 4:30 p.m. We're located on the 4th floor, Wing C of the Central Building. You can also send us an email to askhr@uams.edu, or feel free to visit our website at www.hr.uams.edu. Thank you.